I'm not surprised, motherfuckers.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Courtside Soundoff podcast. Once again, I'm Josh Evanoff. As always, welcome by the one and only man of the hour, too sweet to be sour, future Jiu-Jitsu world champion, Angel Ortega. Admittedly, there's not a whole lot to talk about this week. So we got Bellator MMA versus RIZIN going down New Year's Eve at Saitama Super Arena. We also got a bit of, we have multiple fight announcements to go over, as well as talking about the news before we get into all of the action. As always, we're brought to you by Rogue Energy and ELYXR. That is code Soundoff for 10% off of for both of those websites. Rogue Energy, as I've always mentioned, fantastic sponsor of the show since we've started. Hope you guys used our code for Christmas and got some people some nice stuff. If you're looking for stuff on the opposite end of the spectrum, ELYXR.com. Delta 8, 9, and 10 products. Make sure you're in a state where they can legally ship to you. I know I am. So I spent my Christmas getting fucked up on Delta 8 gummies. So, Angel, how was your Christmas, man? I know that no, for real, though. I mean, we don't really, not a whole lot to talk about this week. So you do anything fun, my guy?
No, I mean, I worked. I decided to go in and get some extra hours in and get a little bit of double pay. Just have a little bit extra cash going into early next year. There's some stuff I want to do and get done, and these bills don't pay themselves, Josh. I mean, I don't make millions of dollars off this podcast, and
not yet. I mean, let's be honest.
And it funds my gambling addiction, but I need to still work. You know what I mean?
Nah, but I get it. I mean, and speaking of, the way to fund that is, I'm not sure if you guys noticed this. I'm giving this a cheap plug right at the top of the show, because I actually have not mentioned it outside of my own Instagram. We have a TikTok account. It pained me to make it. I have zero interest in TikTok. But
I like how you have a TikTok. By the way, I'm cutting you off here, but I like how you have your own TikTok account, your personal account. And I don't know if you saw my TikTok account, Josh. I saw you followed me. Yeah. I literally only follow one account and have one follower, and that's the podcast account. Yeah. And the other account I follow is the podcast account. I literally get on TikTok. I don't like getting on TikTok. I actually went down the TikTok rabbit hole at one point. Not like regularly watching or following people, but finding myself like scrolling for a long time and then being like, oh, dude, this shit is fucking terrible.
Well, yeah, and I mean,
hey, there's some good content out there.
Yeah, there is some, including the Courtside Soundoff, if you guys want to go ahead and follow us there, Yeah, I mean, I made my own just because I'm like, what if I ever do want to go ahead and look at stuff on TikTok? You know what I mean?
And if you did come from there, much appreciated. I hope you guys stick around and hope you continue to like the content we're making, because it's only going to get better. And our consistency is fucking wild right now. I mean, Josh, we went from recording that first episode together to being like, dude, not knowing if we were going to talk next week or not. And fucking 199 or whatever the fuck it is weeks later.
Something crazy.
We're still here. Through COVID, Josh, through no sports, we found a way to get on each week and still fucking talk.
Yeah, exactly. We're always consistent, and that's what my goal is for. And I'm sure some people are already aware of the fact that we are doing TikTok, because I've uploaded some YouTube shorts, which have also killed it, and I'm very much indebted to you guys, because without those YouTube shorts, we would not have hit 50,000 views on the YouTube channel this year. We came in right at the end of the month. This month of December, we had 5,000 views, or over 5,000, which really clutched up and took us, and we were very thankful for that. And that was like the greatest Christmas gift I could have gotten. So
right,
very thankful to you guys, and we appreciate it. And hopefully 2023 it will be an excellent year. I told Angel, we're going guns out for 2023, boys. We got some big things in mind. I specifically do for like the TikTok. I know Angel has some creative ideas as well, and we're super excited to share them with you over the next 12 months. But
by the way, I have a question for you. Did you ever think back in 2010 when you were uploading those wrestling videos in your backyard, did you ever think that this YouTube channel, formerly known as the KWF brand, would ever reach 50,000 views?
No, I did not. I did not expect it. And We're also closing in on 1,000 subscribers too. We've gotten 10 subs over the last week just alone, so.
Shout out to all those people who subbed.
Shout out to all those people who subbed. Yeah, man, I mean, hey, it's been,
hey, fuck you to the one person that unsubscribed.
Yeah, fuck you, dude. Fuck you, dude.
Or girl, we don't judge.
Yeah, no, we're not sexist, but fuck you. No, but for real, I think it's probably about time to break into the action because we got, look, dude, no UFC, no boxing to recap, nothing to really talk about from the last week. But god damn it, Bellator MMA and RIZIN are putting together a hell of a end of the year show at the Saitama Super Arena in Japan. That was the venue that Pride used to use all the time for all of the younger fans who may not be aware. So there's a lot going into this one, and I'm very, very excited about it. It's going to be on pay-per-view, which these guys don't normally do. I mean, I guess I'm pretty sure we'll air on Showtime in the U.S., but if you don't have Showtime, you can buy it on pay-per-view too. But look, dude, holy shit, what a card. The main card is going to have fighters from Bellator going up against fighters from RIZIN, the best of the best. They're not going out there and they're not putting fucking, I don't want to insult anybody, but they're not going out there and plucking some guy from the Bellator YouTube prelims and putting him out there. No, it's fucking AJ McKee, Patricio Pitbull, Koji Horiguchi, Juan Archuleta, the best of the best, and RIZIN, Roberto de Souza, going out there against AJ McKee, and they have a couple of other guys who we'll talk about and kind of give you guys some thoughts on them because we don't really talk about RIZIN too much, and I feel like a lot of Western fans don't know much about it. But Angel, first of all, it's the only fight card this weekend. What's your excitement level, man? I mean, I know that we've personally hyped up this card a fair bit. I'm not seeing much traction on like MMA websites, but I mean, what are your thoughts on this event we got this weekend?
I mean, I think it could be even the year, Josh. I mean, literally as late as it can be, right? And as far as just the whole, I mean, the promos they put out, the samurai and like the gladiator, or I don't even know what you call it, the Bellator, person they put in their promo, it looks cool too. And as far as the fact that it's in the Saitama Super Arena, I think they were hoping they were trying to get the Pride Lady, but I don't think she no longer does that kind of work because she had like vocal cord surgery. And they're doing the fights in the ring, and they're using the rule set over there. So we're gonna have soccer kicks, head stomps, and knees on the ground at opponents. It's gonna be wild, man, and it's gonna be a very different time than what we're used to. But I mean, I feel like the fights are gonna be amazing. I feel they're gonna be great, and it's potentially could put itself last minute in contention, obviously. In a way, and people might forget, for potential fight card of the year, in a way, or MMA event of the year because of everything that it's presenting and where it's at and the history. And, all the fighters are talking and referencing a lot of the Pride days and being like, when one thing that I've always wanted to do is fight in Japan and let alone fight on Japan on New Year's Day or I guess New Year's Eve technically, right? Cause, they're going to be fighting at 4 a.m. here. I guess it'll be the next day essentially at that point.
Yeah, that's why we didn't include it in the the awards.
But yeah, no, that's going to be awesome. I mean, as a whole, I think there's just a lot that can be done here. And on top of that, the level of risk that two promotions are taking, they're putting their best against their best. They're going to be doing their best to represent themselves. I don't know if this is going to open up the door for, other organizations to potentially put champ be champ or, whatever. But I mean, and I was at the podcast with Juan Archuleta. He's like, shit, I feel like I could go to one championship and beat their 135 champ and their 145 champ easily, and, let's do it. I want to do it. Let's see, put your money where your mouth is, Well,
I mean, let's be honest. That's not going to happen. Look,
it's not gonna happen. It might not happen immediately, right? But this is at least gonna put the seed. It's the start of it. It's the first time.
I do kind of doubt that one would be interested in doing it. I know for a fact UFC wouldn't be, but PFL I think would probably be down for doing something. I stopped taking one seriously in terms of like these talks. I put them in like the UFC category of like, oh, they're never going to collaborate ever. The reason why I put them there is because I'm not sure if you remember this. Do you remember whenever it was like February of this year? Ngannou's win was fresh in everybody's mind. And they're like, oh shit, where's he gonna go? And then, Chatri Sitotong was like, nah, man, come on. Have you seen our heavyweights? Imagine what they do to Francis Ngannou. I'm like, okay, all right. It's just,
I mean, obviously he's to say that. You know?
Promoters got to promote, but let's not be ridiculous here. I mean,
I know. I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you, but you know what I mean. Look,
no, I get it. But I'm just saying, I don't think they'd be down for.
There is something Chatri does right, and that's include all the martial arts.
No, I like that. Yeah.
I mean, you know, obviously, you know, say what you want to say. Think about
it. You know how I feel about it.
But you know what I mean? As far as like the sport itself and how it is, I feel like they don't represent it in a bad light.
No, I agree. But
whatever happens behind closed doors in business, I mean, we're getting into a whole different conversation there. But we're here to talk about fights, and fights happen.
That's true. And as far as fights go, man, we got an incredible main card to go over, and we'll talk about a couple of prelims as well. But look, dude, main event: AJ McKee, former Bellator featherweight champion, currently number 8 in their lightweight rank. He's coming off that incredible win over Spike Carlisle, which was in the fight of the year discussion, or at least should have been. I mean, goddamn, it was entertaining. Taking on Roberto de Souza, the current RIZIN lightweight champion, 33 years old, incredible jiu-jitsu, 14-1, coming off a win over Johnny Case in April. That avenged his one loss in his career when he lost back in October 2019 to him in the lightweight Grand Prix. Look, dude, very interesting fight here. Roberto de Souza has some of the greatest jiu-jitsu in the lightweight division. Wins over Tafik Musayev, who currently like an incredible fucking prospect, But look, dude, it's gonna be a very entertaining fight. I'm very interested to see how AJ navigates the ground. But as far as the fight itself, man, what do you think about it, and who do you got in the main event?
I mean, like we were talking in the green room a little bit, Josh. I think this is the hardest fight for all the Bellator guys. I think as far as the RIZIN opponents, he's the most difficult one, I believe. At least one or two, in my opinion. I put it like that. Mm-hmm. I was saying, I'm very surprised that Bellator decided to send AJ in and not their pit bull, their champ or former champ, I should say. Obviously, with the Usman fight and all that recently, but even then, Usman, and obviously they announced this a while ago, but even then, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. The fact that AJ was their first option goes to show how much they believe in AJ at 155 and all that, and kind of his future there in that division and kind of what they expect out of him, because this is a super dangerous fight. I mean, it's incredibly hard. I mean, he's fighting a guy who has these abilities on the ground and is incredibly dangerous, and I mean, I imagine he won't engage him a lot on the ground, but AJ has won a lot by submission, has a fair bit of wrestling under his belt, and could just think that maybe I should try to do this, but and not having the cage right to his there as an option to have takedowns and all that, and how that's going to affect him. I think in the stand up, I think it's clearly AJ. This user possesses a fair bit of power in his hands. He has one by knockout. Mm-hmm. I really do think it's a pick'em fight. I am leaning towards AJ, but not by a lot, because of the danger on the ground and how much the fight can change once it hits the mat. Because Souza will pull guard, he'll get into these positions, he'll throw up triangles, and he gets those fucking submissions, man. I mean, a lot of his finishes are via submission, and they're from positions in the back or triangles. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure, and granted, I'm sure AJ's, trying to put himself in these positions that this guy is very successful at. But I think it's a pick-em fight, Josh. I think there's no easy choice. I mean, I'm going with AJ McKee, but yeah, because I give him the advantage in the stand-up. But like I said, D'Souza has not a good enough stand-up to get him through, and has what seems like power, and he's a very big 155er. I think that I'm curious to see how AJ deals with the weight difference if the fight does hit to the ground, and if there is a difference, and to see if AJ's maybe thrown on a little bit more muscle and has grown a little bit more since last time we see him at 155 against Spike Carlisle, because Spike looked big in there, man. I mean, AJ looked good. Yeah, I mean, he didn't look like that 45er anymore, but he didn't look far removed either.
Mm-hmm. No, correct. Well, to be fair, Spike Carlisle is a pretty damn big lightweight as it is.
Well, he came back at like 80 something, by the way, I heard.
Oh, Jesus. So, yeah, there you go. Look, dude, I'm on the same page. I think this is a very, very close and almost a damn near pick and fight. I am going to take AJ McKee. I think that on the feet, now, to be fair, Roberto de Souza can't crack, but I think On the feet, I'm going to give Maki the advantage. I'm thinking on the ground, look, his jiu-jitsu is not going to be on the same wavelength. You know what I mean? Like, there is still a massive difference there. But I do think that his wrestling is good enough and his jiu-jitsu is good enough to survive on the mat to bring the fight to where he wants and to have decent success. So I'm going to take AJ McKee. That being said, I can absolutely see Roberto de Souza catching him and, getting the win and so on and so forth. But, one of the things I like about this card, honestly, is like, this is the main event, but like, dude, you can put any of the fights below them as the main event. You know what I mean? Like, they're all very, very compelling and very, very interesting. In the co-main events, we have Patricio Pitbull, the featherweight champion, who obviously beat AJ McKee in their rematch in April, beat Adam Borch in October. Going to be taking on Klebler, probably butchered that name, and I do apologize, but former KSW champion, current RIZIN featherweight champion on a hell of a win streak. He's beaten some former, UFC veterans during that stretch. Oka Sasaki, who admittedly is one of my boys. He went ahead and beat him. Yeah, so he's beaten some former UFC veterans in his own right. Former KSW champion, like I said, lost his title to Mateusz Gamrot, funnily enough, back in 2018, and then he left for RIZIN. Look, man, very interesting co-main event. What do you think about this one?
For me, not as exciting compared to the other fights. Obviously I'm not going to put any blame on the matchmaking here. Obviously, this is one of their best guys as their champ here at RIZIN. Kleber trains out of the gym that DeSosa trains out of. Kleber's actually I think the head jiu-jitsu coach or one of the main coaches there. The guy is we talk submission ace. The submission ace, right? It's like 20-something wins by submission, something insane like that. Obviously, jiu-jitsu is his game, and that is a fact, man, because on the feet, he has not much to offer, Josh.
27 career wins by submission, in case you're curious.
Yeah. He has some solid kicks. Hands are, not going to say non-existent, but not very existent. I believe that Pitbull is just too well-rounded of a fighter. His experience, his demeanor in there, everything. I just don't think Kleber being, I'm not calling him one-dimensional, but having this specialty he's so good at, but lacking in these other spots, I think is going to give him hell against Pitbull, and I don't think he'll be able to pull through, and because the jiu-jitsu is not just going to be able to get him through this. I think he's going to have to deal with a lot with Pitbull. Pitbull is capable of wrestling, obviously, grappling, and obviously his striking is, he comes, he'll come out one way, one fight, and the next fight he'll come as, looking a different way. Not like Cejudo, but, obviously a little parallel there. And on top of that, he's very patient. He's very well timed. He'll wait for stuff and he'll wait for positions and he'll set himself up. And I think, for Kleber, I think it's just not going to be enough. I think this is Pitbull's fight all night. He's just a better fighter all around.
Yeah, same picture for me too. I think, I like Kleber a lot. But generally speaking, dude, Patricio Pitbull's, like, I've said this for a while, and granted, he is older now. He's 35. He had the loss to McKee, and even in the rematch, he didn't look too impressive. I still think he's one of the greatest fighters on the planet right now. And he's about as well-rounded as it gets. Well, one of the greatest fighters outside of the UFC, I guess I should say. But he's about as well-rounded as it gets. You can even tell by the way he wins fights. 11 wins by knockout, 12 by submission, 11 by decision. He's lost once by submission, and there was that AJ fight where he got rocked before he got submitted. And got put out with the guillotine. I just think he's better. I think he's more well-rounded. I think he's going to have success wherever the fight goes. So I'm going to go ahead and take Patricio to get the win and make it 2-0 Bellator. But next up, dude, flyweight, Koji Horiguchi. Funnily enough, former RIZIN champion, and it's kind of bizarre that he's even on the Bellator side, considering he fights for RIZIN as much as he fights for Bellator, even though he signed a contract with them earlier this year, or actually it might have been last year, but he's actually struggled as a bit late. Obviously, he had that incredible run when he first left the UFC where he was beating virtually everybody, Darion Caldwell, Ian McCall, Manel Cape, Ben Wynn. He beat a bunch of guys. But since 2019, he's struggled. He got knocked out by Kai Asakura. He avenged the loss, but then he went over to Bellator, got knocked out by Sergio Pettis, got beat by Patchy Mix. He did beat Yoto Hakamura in September, but he has struggled a bit as of late, and he's taking on Hirasima Ogabugo, who is a veteran of the fight game, former Shudo champion, currently not a champion over there in RIZIN, but he's fought for the title on multiple occasions. He's coming off of the Bantamweight Grand Prix where he went ahead and had a lot of success, including beating Kai Asakura, avenging a previous loss to him. These guys actually fought twice before, funnily enough. They fought once just in the regional scene, in Shudo, where Koji actually beat him for the featherweight title. And then they also fought in RIZIN, and Koji has beat him twice. This is a trilogy fight, Angel. Do you think Hirosima can get on the scoreboard?
I don't believe so, man. I mean, it's 2-0 in the series. I saw one of those fights. It seemed as the fight got longer, Hiromusa struggled. And he looks like he's a super durable guy. Takes a lot of fights to distance. I think majority of his wins have come via decision, and a fair bit of his losses have come via decision as well. That's something you see on this card a lot. A lot of these Japanese fighters like taking the fight down to the ground. Against Koji, though, I don't think he's gonna be able to do that easily. I mean, obviously he's already lost him twice. I saw one fight, I couldn't find the other. To be 3-0 in the series. Yeah, it's not gonna be good. It's gonna be 3-0 for it. Not just 3-0 in a trilogy, but it's also be 3-0 for Bellator, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, now I like this card a lot. My big issue is that I don't understand why Koiji's involved given his relation to RIZIN. Like, he's a 50-50 fighter, you know what I mean? Like, he fights half the time for RIZIN, about time for Bellator anyways, but technically he's a Bellator fighter on this night, and I think he will make it 3-0, man. Not only in the series, but on fight night, like you said. Yeah, I think this one's actually, I'm very disappointed with the matchmaking here, because I think all the other fights are super compelling. I get that they have a history and, so on and so forth, but yeah, I'm gonna take Koji Horiguchi. Juan Archuleta, former champion, ranked number 3 in the Bellator bantamweight rankings, coming off a win over Enrique Barzola in October. Prior to that, he lost 2 in a row, but Sergio Pettis and Hufei Stotts is about as good as it gets, so no shame in losing to them. Taking on Soo Chul Kim, who formerly of One, currently in RIZIN, coming off of, funnily enough, a win over Hirosima Ogabugo. Look, man, admittedly, I know the least about this kid of any other fighter on this card. He started off his career though. I always love these type of guys. Started off 4-3, 4-4 actually, excuse me. But since then, he's only lost to Bibiano Fernandez and Hyjin Park. So he's honestly on a hell of a run right now. Do you think he'll be able to defeat Juan Archuleta though? Do you think he will be the one to get RIZIN on the scoreboard, or do we just? He could say, we've gone through the card from top to bottom, so he could be the one to start it. So, yeah. Don't get it twisted. At the start of the show, Josh, or when we started the topic, I did say that Disposables could be 1 or 2 for most dangerous, I think out of all the RIZIN fighters, most dangerous. This is the other guy that I think is right up there, because this guy comes to fucking bang, Josh. He is relentless. He comes forward. He tries to take the fight down to the ground. He takes one to give one, and against Juan Archuleta, I mean, he can he has a certain, Archuleta also has a certain type of pressure, but it's different from this fighter. Mm-hmm. This guy has like not the same style, but that Habib relentless, just truck forward and get the takedown and get the fight to the ground. He has good ground and pound. He has good enough on the feet. I mean, I'm still going to pick Juan Archuleta here, Josh, but I do think this is another I don't think it's as dangerous as the main event, but I think it's not that far off. Mm-hmm. Interesting. For the sake of argument, I will pick against Juan Archuleta.
You might be fucking right, dude. Like, Kim is a dangerous fighter.
I think if you look at sorry, if you look at Warren Archuleta, man, I hate to say it, I've never been impressed by him. I sound like a dick, but look, dude, I've only seen a couple of fights of our boy who's going to be fighting on Saturday night, Sol Chu Kim. I've been impressed from what I have seen, so I will take him. But shit, anything can happen. But just for the sake of argument, I think he gets RIZIN on the board.
I mean, homeboy is riding like a 10-win streak.
Well, like I said, he's only lost to Viviano Fernandez, who is a fucking savage.
Oh, never mind. He had a loss in between. Hygiene Park. I didn't see
and Hygiene Park's pretty fucking good too. So, there you go. I'll take our boy Sol Chu Kim. But opening up the main card, this one I feel like has by far the least interest, which is not to say that these guys are bad fighters, it just is what it is. Gadzhi Rabanov, 18-4-2, former PFL veteran, which is where you may have heard that name outside of Bellator, I guess. Taking on Koji Takada, who, very interesting prospect, man. I mean, formerly fought in the Deep Impact promotion, which you guys may have heard of, and he beat some good names there. Since moving to RIZIN, he's had a fair bit of success. That's not to say that he's not taken losses. He lost to Spike Carlisle. But he's beating some good names. Johnny Case, I think, is probably his best win, and that came in a couple of months back. Riding a 2-fight win streak. What do you think about this matchup, man? I think it's the fight that has the least, excitement behind it. But both these guys, style-wise, this should be a pretty fun fight.
Look, I'll admit it, Josh. I even told you at the top of the show, I'm like, this is probably the one I've done the least looking into. Or, it's a Russian, Josh. You can never pick against a Russian, can you, really? Let's be honest. If you can't pronounce his name, that's how you already know it to be hard.
It's a good point. It's a very good point. I can't argue against that.
I mean, I did hear a few comments about him. Obviously, I heard he's a solid guy. He's riding a nice little win streak. I found out he's undefeated in the promotion right now in Bellator.
JJ Wilson, pretty good guy.
Pretty good guy. Granted, though, I'm pretty sure that was pre-JJ Wilson weight change, because I think after that fight, he decided to go up to lightweight. Oh, never mind, he's still lightweight. Never mind, that was post-weight change. That was first fight at weight change. Oh, there's that for you.
There you go. But, look, man, I'm also going to take the Russian. I'm going to take Gadzhi Rabanov. That's not to say Koji Takada is actually one of my favorite RIZIN fighters. Guy always comes to bang and is always pretty fucking entertaining. But, man, I'm going to go ahead and take Gadzhi. I've been very impressed with him since he came over to Bellator. I saw him in his one PFL fight a while ago. PFL 2 in 2019. I was never that impressed with him. And if you look at his regional run, he kind of struggled. But right now, he's riding a lot of momentum. And like you mentioned, that win over J.J. Wilson very, very much impressed me. He beat Bobby King, too, who's also a pretty good guy over there in Bellator. So, yeah, man, I'm going to go ahead and take it. I think he gets the job done. And I think it's going to be a rough night for RIZIN, man. And here's the issue for me, is I don't even think RIZIN would have that much bad luck. But I think matchup-wise, it's tough, man. It's very, very tough.
I feel like the main event's the most competitive one.
I completely agree. But if you look at the rest of the matchups, that's not to say RIZIN won't have success. And for all we know, they could pull it off, man. They could win 3-2 at the buzzer. You know what I'm saying? But, I think it's going to be a pretty good night for Bellator, dude. I think it's going to be very, very good.
What do you think is the best outcome for both promotions where they both look good in some capacity?
2-2, it goes 2-2 down the middle with a split decision in the main event. And a fucking war. How about that? I think
I'd also say hopefully all fights being very competitive. No fucking blowouts.
Yeah. If they're at least competitive, that'll be the big thing. I think it's kind of like a win-win for both guys, for both promotions, because I really don't think there's any way where it's like, geez, could you imagine if it's like one-way fucking traffic and they just get destroyed?
But what do you think is the order of danger as far as all the RIZIN fighters? With the main guys, with Warren Archuleta, Koji,
like
their
most
opponents.
likely to win to least likely to win, you mean?
Yeah, out of the RIZIN side.
I mean, for me, probably Roberto De Souza, Sol Chu Kim, Koji Takada, Klebler Koki Urbis, and Hirosima Agabuo. I don't think that
you put Hirosima at dead last over Klebler?
He's already gotten shithoused twice by Koji,
he's won a lot since then. He could bring.
He has won a lot since then,
and it's the third fight. A lot could change in the third fight.
A lot can change in a third fight. I'll give you that. I don't know, man. I think Koji needs like a big win to get right. I understand he's coming off a win already, but like
you're like, I'll beat a guy who already beat twice.
that's momentum, dude. He needs that, and I think he gets it. I just don't see a way that Koji comes back to Japan to lose to a guy that he already beat twice. I just don't see that happening.
I mean, you don't think it? I mean, we could say it, man, but in reality.
No, I'm saying it could happen. I'm just saying I don't.
No, I agree. I mean, I like I said, I essentially have it the same. I put Hiramosa above Kleber, but
really, I think that bad.
Yeah, I mean, I think, but we'll see. We'll see the night of.
True.
I mean, we both have the same top 2 picks, which I think are the ones that are the really important ones. Those are the ones we think are most likely to win.
Yeah, true.
I mean, we went all Bellator. I mean, obviously that. I mean,
well, wait a minute. I picked Seoul Chu Kim.
If you go undefeated and you picked everybody right, you picked the one RIZIN fighter to win. I'll fucking. I'll give it to you.
That'd be pretty funny, but
I mean, if anything, I feel like the losses will come in the main and co-main.
Very possible, very possible, especially the main.
The main. I mean, that's a hard fucking fight for AJ, dude. AJ, fuck, man. I don't know.
It's an incredibly difficult fight, yeah.
Sanders. If Roberto gets that dub, though, I mean, fuck, man, what a fucking dub for RIZIN.
Oh, absolutely. But yeah, man. I mean, as far as the rest of the card goes, there are a couple of very interesting prelim fights. A couple of names that people may not know about. So, Angel, what do you think about some of those prelims fights?
Man, let's get into it, Josh. I mean, John Dodson. I did not expect to see John Dodson in the cage probably ever again after seeing him in BKFC.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to be completely honest with you. Fighting at 126. And he's going to be fighting on New Year's Eve in the Thomas Super Arena. That one threw me for a loop. Very silent. No one's really mentioned it. I haven't seen anything in the media about it. Fighting some Japanese fighter who's 35, 31, and 2. So
you don't know Hideo Takoro?
Yep.
Oh, dude, he's a fucking savage. He's 45 years old. He's been fighting since 2000.
I know. He's been fighting longer than we've been alive.
I know. He's fought virtually everybody. He fought in rings, dude. Like, surprisingly, he did not fight in Pride, but he fought in Dynamite, K1, Dream, everywhere. So he's a savage.
He's fought a lot of names. I know that.
But yeah, this is going to be his first fight. Like, he's essentially been like a half retired fighter for a while. But yeah,
he just comes out. He really comes out for the big ones.
Essentially, yeah. I mean, I'm surprised that, like you mentioned, that John Dodson fighting has not earned much recognition. He's only he left the UFC after losing to Marab back in 2020, and then he had 2 fights in XMMA, and then he had the BKFC thing. Outside of that, man, he has not really done much. So I'm very surprised that for one, that they got him for this, and for two, that nobody's talking about it. So, but yeah, I mean, he's not the only UFC veteran to be fighting on here. They got I believe so anyway. Outside, excluding the main card, because we got our boy Rodrigo Bontarian, who had about as rough of a UFC stint you could have. Came in, he got a couple of nice wins, including over our boy Julian Pavia. Then he lost. Well, I mean, he went 1-3, but one of those got a return. So a 4-fight winless streak to leave the promotion. But he went up against a fucking savages, Ray Borg, Kai France, Matt Schnell, and Brandon Royval. So absolutely just a bunch of fucking savages, dude. I mean, we got Junior Tafa on the prelims. Naoka Inoue, former UFC veteran. So that should be fun. I mean, look, dude, what outside of obviously the main card, which fight are you most looking forward to on the prelims?
Oh man. Probably that Junior Tafa Tioshi Sudario fight.
That's the one you're most excited for?
I think so, yeah. I mean, it's heavyweight, it's at 265. Yes, guys, that Junior Tafa. Yes.
And Sansa is a fucking sumo beast. You know?
I mean, he's not rocking his sumo body anymore. He's kind of trimmed down if you go on his Instagram. But I mean, it's heavyweight, man. I mean, fuck, dude, heavyweight fights are just fucking fun to watch. I mean, look.
He beat Minimal, man. So, you know.
Yeah. I mean, no, there's just something about heavyweights, man. You can never be bored. You never. I feel like, especially in a ring, dude, I feel like some funny shit can happen too.
No, you're completely correct. So this should be a lot of fun. And Junior Tafa, for those of you that are unaware, believe he's the younger brother of Justin Taffa.
Yes, sir.
So UFC heavyweight. So yeah, should be a lot of fun, man. I've heard a lot of good things of Junior Taffa too. So this should be a hell of a card, man. I'm very, very excited. I think Bellator specifically has done a lot of. I feel like they had a pretty bad 2022 in my opinion. No offense. I feel like they missed a lot of opportunities, and a lot of it had to do with timing. Like, I don't know why they would put on fights the same night as the UFC, which they did multiple times this year. But look, dude, they're closing it out in a nice way. Same thing for RIZIN, so I'm psyched for this card. But Angel, I think it's about time to move on to some fight announcements, because goddamn, is there a lot of them.
Are you fucking hyped, man? Like, are you hyped with the ones you've seen? Is there anything that kind of surprised you?
Well, we got to start this one off on a bad note, because I just want to get this one out of the way.
You just want to get the bad news out of the way, Josh.
We got to
rip the Band-Aid.
Hashtag save Bigfoot.
Not
Angel,
that Bigfoot.
You've been pumping this one out there for a while.
I had been, dude. Hashtag save Bigfoot. Hashtag save my hero.
Yeah, for the uninitiated, Angel got into MMA through Bigfoot Silver's Mark Hunt 1, and since then it's all been downhill for not only Angel but also Bigfoot's career.
Wow, man. I mean, I feel like you know what's crazy? I think if you look at Bigfoot's career and my career, I think we're like on opposite ends of the graph. Mine's been going up, Bigfoot's been going down, sadly.
He fought Mark Hunt and his life went downhill, and you're like, fuck yeah, man, he fought Mark Hunt, you know, like.
Too bad it wasn't like we both went up. It's sadly been one went down, one's gone up. I feel like I've been going up, right? Like,
no, I mean you're peaking right now, you know.
Yeah, and I don't hate the Bigfoot, like, you know, like it is what it is, man. And I just really hope you retire and live a happy life.
I know, but that is not what has happened. Not only is he not retired, instead he has become even more active as of late. God, I mean, so he left the UFC. I say left. He got released after getting knocked out 3 times in a row. Mark Hunt, Stephan Bonnar, Roy Nelson all put him out 3 times in a row in 2016. Goes to Russia to fight Ivan Shirkov, who was an undefeated Russian at the time, lost by decision. He fought Vitaly Minakov, arguably one of the greatest heavyweights outside the UFC, knocked out. Quinton Domingos, who I'm not even sure is a real person, knocked him out in the second round.
Yeah.
And then Oleg Popov knocked him out in June. That's not including. He got knocked out by Vyacheslav Dotsik, who's more known for his time spent in prison as a white supremacist than he's known for his fighting. But he also knocked out Bigfoot in a boxing match. Oh yeah, Gabriel Gonzaga, UFC veteran, also knocked out Bigfoot in a bare knuckle fight. He is now. So, you know, as if that's not enough, Eagle FC tried to book him. Florida wouldn't sanction him, which says everything you need to know. But don't worry, because he's going to be fighting in Brave FC against Haim Ghazoli. If you guys don't know Haim Ghazoli, he is much smaller than Bigfoot, which is sweet. He's also 49 years old. I want to say that he competes at like middleweight, if I remember correctly. He's on a nice winning streak. A couple of his fights might have been fixed though, so that's important to note. But yeah, he's going to be fighting Bigfoot in Brave. So, Angel, thoughts?
Dude, no. No,
You're not hyped for seeing a 49-year-old Haim Ghazoli who fights at middleweight, fighting Bigfoot Silva, who's lost his last million fights.
Just hope Bigfoot gets one, man.
Do you think that this is like the good avenue for him to fight like a smaller, older grappler?
Yeah, probably.
He won't get knocked out, right? Probably.
You hope not.
Yeah. But, yeah, I mean, hashtag save Bigfoot, man.
I mean, for all I know, dude, you could throw a spark plug at Bigfoot's shin and he might get knocked out now.
Oh, gee. Come on, man.
I don't know, dude. I don't know if it's like that now.
I know. A gust of the wind and he does the chicken dance, you know?
I don't know. I mean, the man's been knocked out a lot and very quick and very sad.
Yeah, true.
I don't want to see Bigfoot fight.
He shouldn't be fighting anymore. Yeah, I agree. Definitely disappointing. But, I mean, look, if they're going to book him, this is probably the best outcome, I guess. You know, but
a smaller, older guy, yeah.
It doesn't mean I want to see it, but yeah, I feel like we had to get that one out of the way because we've been documenting this Bigfoot Silva saga. I mean, it's just so. This was a former UFC title challenger and at one point one of the greatest fighters on the planet. You know what I mean? So it's so depressing. And
he beat Fedor.
I know people try to step in.
He fought Fedor and beat him, right?
He beat Fedor in Strikeforce.
Yeah, I'm like,
but
what the fuck is life?
I know it's just it's depressing. But look, man, I mean, in terms of fun fight announcements, we just gotta go ahead and we had to get that one out of the way. In terms of fun fight announcements, Sean Brady, Michelle Pahea. Dude, this is chaos. UFC on ESPN 43. That'll go down to San Antonio in March 25th. It's going to be Sean Brady's first fight since being TKO'd by Bilal Muhammad in October at UFC 280. Michelle Pahea is riding a nice win streak for himself, 5 wins in a row, all against pretty good talent, dude. He came in as a fun fighter. He's knuckled down. He's focused. He's only 29 years old. He's huge for the weight class. And now he's getting this fight where if he wins, boom, the sky's the limit if he beats Sean Brady. What do you think about this booking?
I mean, it's super fun matchmaking, battle of the gas tanks, who's not going to gas. Is it a 3-rounder or a 5-rounder?
It is I do not know, but as of now, I'm expecting it to be a 3-rounder.
Oof, not a fan.
You want to be 5 rounds? You want these guys to die, dude?
Yeah. I love 5 rounds in these guys. I'm going to see who's gonna want it more.
Fair enough.
That's that's the only reason I would want 5 rounds.
That is a pretty good reason.
Who wants it more? And I mean, Sean Brady, that's a tough fight, man. But coming back from his first ever loss, Michelle Pahea, I mean, he's lost plenty of times in his career, and we're kind of really confident now. It seems to kind of be focusing. Like I told you, Josh, I feel like he has an incredible skill set, the athleticism, the showmanship, everything's there for him to be potentially a great fighter. It's whether or not he puts it all together and performs and improves that gas tank. I mean, he's like I've told you, he could literally be a 185er, potentially even a 205er.
Mm-hmm. He's fucking massive. Yeah, he is huge for the weight class.
Yeah, he might be the biggest guy in that weight class. No fucking joke.
He very well might be. So, this is such an oddly compelling fight that I would have never thought about. You know what I mean? Like,
I think you do Michelle Pahea against anybody. It's interesting. Like, it'll be fun.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. I mean, he's the action fighter. Like, not really action fighter, but like he's just always doing crazy shit. It's always entertaining. But
I mean, Josh, you're telling me Shakvat versus fucking Michelle Pahea doesn't get you rock hard?
Again, I did not think about that until that moment. But
what part? The fight part or the getting rock hard part?
I got a phoner, Angel. I'm rock hard with emotion right now. But yeah, I mean I mean that's a fun fight, man. I would have not expected to book that one, but I'm very happy about it. Very, very excited for it. It's not only fight booking though. We got a couple other big ones. Sticking with UFC for the moment, Marlon Chito Vera versus Corey Sandhagen, February 18th at the UFC Apex. I kind of hate that it's taking place at the Apex, to be completely honest with you. But look, dude, what do you think about this fight? I think it's the correct booking. I really think it is. I think it's going to be an awesome fight. They're getting 5 rounds. We get everything we want out of this one. What are your thoughts on it?
I think I called this one, didn't I? Or we called it together. No, I mean, it's probably the funnest fight you can make right now for Corey Sandhagen. I mean, Corey Sandhagen's fun in every fight, but I think stylistically it's a great fucking clash of styles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I completely agree.
I mean, without getting into very deep analysis, I think Chito's pacing in the fight and kind of the buildup it has, how odd it is. At least I find it very hard. Like his pace is something that I can't. I've never been able to explain it. I don't know if it's slow. I don't know if it's building up. But I almost want to compare it maybe to a balloon, Josh, where it's just kind of like filling up, and then it pops. And then Corey Sandhagen, I mean, he comes to fight. Who bring the fight to Chito? So I'm curious to see how that affects Chito's style of fight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'll be interesting, man. I know that I'm very, very happy they gave these guys 5 rounds. I think that's my biggest thing right now. I'm a little bit disappointed they put it at the Apex, but I don't think this kind of works as an Apex fight, dude. I feel like this is kind of people complain so much about the Apex, and I'm generally on board with it. But it's a little bit weird they are putting it here, but who knows? Maybe this will be the fight that everybody remembers. Like, oh,
I mean, next year they're opening up a little bit more. They're gonna be traveling a little bit more. I mean, it's a work in progress, you know.
Mm-hmm. No, for sure. But yeah, this one will be a banger. I'm very excited for this one. This is supposed to be a fight announcement. We do have to talk about a fight that got canceled, sadly, but we also have a replacement for it. Bellator 290 going down, I believe February 4th. That's when it's going to be on CBS. It's going to be Bellator's first show on CBS. Very big card. Fedor Emelianenko's retirement fight against Ryan Bader, one of the GOATs, calling it a day. Was supposed to have Vadim Nemkov versus Yoel Romero in the co-main event. That is off. Now, Johnny Eblen stepping up, man. Coming off this win over Gegard Mousasi, the newly crowned champion. Well, I say newly crowned. That fight took place in June. But, yeah, man, undefeated. Going to be stepping in that co-main event spot against Anatoly Tokov, who is riding a solid winning streak for himself right now, man. I believe he is 31-3. The record looking nice. 7-fight win streak. All those wins coming in the Bellator cage. He's beating some good-ass names, too, man. Alexander Shlemenko, Gerald Harris, Muhammad Abdullah. That was his last fight in June. So, dude, if they were going to replace Vadim Nemkov, they picked about as good of a fight you can to replace it. What do you think about this one?
I mean, it was a good one. Obviously, missed out, obviously, with Yoel Romero and Nemkov, but shit, I mean, that's how it goes. I mean, so they bring in the human cheat code, which, I mean, you had to defend that title at some point. They're giving him a tough fucking guy, and Tokov, like you said, and solid matchmaking. I mean, there wasn't many options, right? I feel like at the time, this is probably one of the best fights they could put together in such short notice.
Mm-hmm. I completely agree. It is a very good fight. I'm very interested to see, not to branch off the conversation, I'm very interested to see what Gegard Mousasi does next. Because I thought they could have possibly now granted the fight was lopsided with Johnny Eblen, but I was surprised they didn't think about giving him an immediate rematch with the guy who had been champion for so long. But, yeah, man, it's going to be interesting to see how that fight goes. They picked about as good of a replacement they could get. But, yeah, man, that's all my thoughts on it. Just because that fight is so close, we're only a month and a half away from it. Even, I guess, technically less than that. It's only like a month and a week. So, yeah, I mean, we'll be previewing that fight pretty soon. But we do got to talk about some news. And, man, it's a bit of a depressing one, man. Stephan Bonnar, 45 years old, passing away Christmas Eve at work, apparently, due to some heart problems. Dude, it is hard to emphasize for fans who may be new to the sport, who maybe don't follow the history of it. It is incredibly hard to emphasize just how important Stephan Bonnar was and his fight with Forrest Griffin. Obviously, they were both on the Ultimate Fighter 1. They were fighting in the finale. And that fight really it was one of the key moments, along with Ken Shamrock and Tito Ortiz, Chuck Liddell, and Tito selling over 1 million pay-per-views, I believe. It was one of those fights. Like, those three might be the most important fights. And obviously, Forrest and Stephan Bonnar, might be the three most important fights in UFC history. Like, they helped save the company. Like, Stephan Bonnar and Forrest Griffin going out there and beating the dog shit out of each other for 15 minutes. Even beyond that, dude, he had an incredible career. Fought Anderson Silva on pay-per-view. He had some nice fights, and I think he only had one fight in Bellator, but he did really bonkers numbers with Tito. And, dude, just a pioneer of the fucking game, and I don't think we'd be talking about the sport if at least in the same capacity and with the same popularity that we do today without Stephan Bonnar's contributions. So, Angel, just your thoughts.
Sad, man. Very, very fucking sad. I saw the news, I don't remember if it was Instagram or Twitter, like a minute or two after it had been posted. It wasn't very long, and instant fucking heartbreak, man. I was in disbelief. It was, you never expect it, right? Mm-hmm. And like you said it there, I couldn't have worded it any better. He is so big to the sport, so big to this promotion and it being around still. They literally he's literally half of what saved the UFC at its time. That fucking show on what network was it on, man? The Ultimate Fighter,
I believe it was on Spike TV.
Yeah, the Ultimate Fighter on fucking Spike TV, where these guys were fucking pissed that they were fighting for free and didn't even know exactly what was gonna happen. And they get to the finale and they put on the fucking show they did and they saved the fucking UFC.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you laid it out there pretty well, man. If you guys don't know the story, like, Zuffa bought the company in, I want to say 2000. I don't even remember when exactly. 2001, somewhere around there. And they were in debt, dude. The UFC did not make money for a long time. But then they put on UFC 40, which was Ken Shamrock versus Tito Ortiz. They made, I think they sold 100,000 pay-per-views at the time, which is a fucking huge deal. Because that was like the most they'd done in like a long time. Because the UFC started out hot, and then they lost a lot of steam because they started legislating against the UFC, and they got a lot of political attention. And by 2001, they were in a bad place. And Tito and Ken gave him a lot of money through their rivalry. And then Tito and Chuck did a lot. And then ultimately, the Ultimate Fighter is what helped boost them into the mainstream. You know what I mean? In that fight, and they decided, like, yeah, like, Spike came back, I believe, that night, as the story goes, with a new contract for multiple seasons, which helped keep the UFC afloat. And that would not have happened without Stephan Bonnar and Forrest Griffin going out there and putting on a war. And that fight still holds up today, man. I watched that fight literally a year ago. Like, not even a year. I think it was this summer I watched that fight. And just, they did like recently did a fight lore video on that, which is like the animated YouTube, UFC Fight Pass videos, which I recommend. Yeah, which I'd recommend to anybody that doesn't know about it. But just so fucking sad, man. I mean, Stephan Bonnar.
He's young.
He was young, man. 45 is way too young, man. That's just that's fucking terrible. But he will not be forgotten. His contributions to the sport will never be. I mean, he's a Hall of Famer, dude. I mean, no matter what happened,
he's immortalized.
He had that one night in history that will be immortalized forever, which is more than what most people could say. You know what I mean? Like, he has that one night in history where he maximized his potential and did what he did. So he has that moment. So, yeah, it's just terrible. But we do have more news to talk about. But honestly, the news section is half depressing. FBI. Let's talk about the death of one of the pioneers of sports. Now we're going to talk about what could possibly be a death knell in the sport. The FBI is involved, folks. We've known
no fucking surprise.
No fucking surprise. But we kind of debated back and forth on this James Krause situation on whether or not, like, we knew police were going to be involved. We were like, is it a state crime? Nah, the fucking Federal Bureau of Investigation is involved.
Well, we knew that when they seized his fucking house.
Yeah, they seized his devices, but it's now been confirmed. The FBI is involved, and they're involved in the situation in the betting probe into James Krause, Derek Minner. Jeff Molina also just got suspended, which is interesting. Jeff Molina
no details on that yet, though.
No details. But he's a hot prospect in the flyweight division. He's with Glory. In fact, he's one of James Krause's normal boys. He's appeared on his podcast before. Remember whenever Megan Anderson came out with that, her stuff about how it was like being coached there? She kind of exposed him. Guess who hit back? It was Jeff Molina, who said if you weren't a fucking alcoholic.
Holy shit.
Did you not see his response?
No, I never heard about this.
Oh,
share it right now.
Yeah, he went hard at her. He went hard. So him being suspended shows, there might be more here going on than we originally expected. What is your reaction to that, and also the fact the FBI is involved?
I mean, when I saw the news of Jeff Molina being suspended by, I forgot exactly who it was or whatever suspended him, it threw me for a loop, man. I was like, oh, fuck. I did not expect it at all.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, like I said, no full details on that yet, but it was definitely like a oh shit moment. What's going to happen now?
100%. Yeah, man. I mean, it's depressing. I mean, there's not a whole lot to add here, but it is interesting to get confirmation that the FBI is involved and also that other people are indeed being suspended. We don't know whether it was due to Jeff Molina not leaving Glory or due to him being involved with Krause, or it could possibly be him involved with this whole betting scandal. We have no idea. But, yeah, I mean, I don't think people realize just how important this is. Everybody's just joking, like, about how Krause might end up in the fucking clink. But, like, if it turns out that, like, the UFC, if Krause's boys were, like, fixing fights, and it's more than just the one outing, holy shit. Like, that could legitimately be what fucks this sport up. You know what I mean? Like, because if the government wants to get oversight, which, by the way, I'm very disappointed in this. The Ali Act. Angel, do you know what the Ali Act is?
I'm aware of it, yes.
Yes, it is. For the uninitiated, it was put in place in the late 90s to protect boxers. And it was to have more government oversight, to make, like, payouts public, to have, like, belts no longer tied to a sole promoter. They have, like, the sanctioning bodies, which is why there's so many belts in boxing. The Ali Act is currently being brought forth the U.S. Senate to potentially expand MMA. And if that's the case,
who's doing this? Like, who's presenting this case?
This is Mark Wayne Mullen. He's a representative from Oklahoma. He fought 3 times, funny enough, in a do you remember? I've seen some clips of this promotion. It was the Extreme Fighting League in, like, 2007.
Oh wow.
They're one of those failed promotions. Anyways, he went 3-0 there. he never fought again.
Is he young? Is he an older guy?
He's like 40 something.
So he's young. He's really young.
He's pretty young. Yeah, rep from Oklahoma, where I hail from, the state of God and guns. And no education. But anyways, it's just, no, but he seems to be a pretty smart guy, and he originally actually brought this bill before, the House in 2016, and it actually passed the House. So, and it had some support in the Senate, but it died out in the Senate. If they can get enough support in the Senate, it will pass. And it'll go to Biden's desk, and he'll most likely sign it into law. The UFC had Trump on their side. I don't think that they have Biden on their side. So this can legitimately reform the sport. And I tell you what, you know who covered this? BJPenn.com. You know who covered this? Outside of us? Not a single fucking website. I'm so disappointed. It's like, no wonder people complain about MMA journalism. Like, this could potentially be the biggest story of 2023. And nobody's talking about it.
When could this happen? By what time could we see this happen?
I mean, he's expected to bring it in front of the Senate next year. And they'll hold a vote on in the Senate. They will have to send it back to the House. But we already know that at the time in 2016, which no guarantees, they had the support in the House back in 2016/2017. It's the Senate they did not have the support. So they have the support in the Senate now. They'll send back to the House, which they'll more than likely have the support in. And then, it's game, set, match on the UFC, essentially.
So this could change the sport forever.
Correct. And you know who covered it? Only BJPenn.com.
That is wild. I mean, I've been aware of, the Ali Act and it being, brought up and all that, but I didn't know anybody was actually doing anything about it.
Mm-hmm. It'll expand MMA. To their credit, Morning Combat also covered it, but.
Do you think this is a good thing?
For the fighters, yes. For maybe for entertainment value, maybe no. Because, for example, like, the UFC's polling right now with, like, Jamal Hill and Glover Teixeira main eventing a pay-per-view, that would not be able to happen. You know what I mean?
It'd be a way longer process. They wouldn't be able to have such a fucking fast turnaround.
Correct. Because belts would be regulated by the commission.
But
at which point, it would UFC guys, Bellator guys, one guys, they'd be forced to fight each other.
But wouldn't they essentially become a commission? Or I guess actually no, it stays a promoter, right?
It would stay as a promoter. It'd essentially be the same way. You know how like Premier Boxing Championships has like a shit ton of guys on roster?
Yep.
And they like to have those guys fight those guys, but occasionally, once in a blue moon, they have to, do something with Top Rank or Matchroom. It's like that.
But they would make it a living hell for those guys to fight each other.
Yeah, correct. So UFC would hold out as long as they possibly could without having to have like one of their guys fight a Bellator guy, but they'll have to eventually.
A mandatory,
correct.
Wow, that'd be so crazy.
Yeah, so, like I said, I'm incredibly fucking disappointed with the fact that nobody has reported on this outside of, like, our site, which is the greatest MMA site on the planet, but also, Morning Combat, full credit to them, they also talked about it. So, Sure Dog I just looked up too. They did a video about it, I guess, or something, but yeah, just disappointed. If you're an MMA site, you should cover like the biggest news, which could potentially, change the sport forever, but whatever. Anyways, man, I feel like it was important to talk about that as well as like the FBI and the fact the government might be cracking down on the UFC. So that's interesting. But, Angel, have you heard about Zion Clark?
I have.
Yeah. So Zion Clark, for those of you that may not know, he is how do I phrase this without sounding like?
I mean, isn't the proper term? Well, no, that would be incorrect because he doesn't.
You know what?
Let's
just Angel. He has no legs.
The man has no. The man
has no legs.
I believe the man was born with no legs.
He was born without legs. He was born with some. I can't remember the name of the disease, but essentially it makes it like how like your legs, they're there, but they don't get formed. Like the development on your legs is virtually like the lower half of his body is virtually non-existent.
That's crazy.
Like I think they're there, but like they're so small that you can't even see them.
Oh, okay.
His quads have to be insane though. You know what I mean?
I mean, I don't know, Josh.
No, but anyway, so he apparently weighs enough to fight at like bantamweight. And he fought in Gladiator Challenge.
What a bantamweight! Holy shit!
He beat Eugene Murray, which all I could think about was that guy from Impractical Jokers, but no, it's not him. It's a different guy, black guy, different skin color. That's how I was able to tell. No, Murr gets the ultimate thumbs down. No, he has to fight a man without legs in a cage. No, but anyway, Zion Clark won his debut by decision. The promotion's a little bit iffy. They've been, Tapology says that they don't fix fights, but they do mismatches, which this was the case here. Zion Clark was a legitimate fucking wrestler in college. So man, what do you think? What are your thoughts on his win? He said he was going to keep on fighting, and he said his goal is to ultimately eventually make it to the UFC.
I mean,
look, I normally don't want to diss the guy, but shit, he already was a legitimate, a really good college wrestler and high school wrestler. So he's already defying expectations.
And he's still doing it by getting a win.
Yeah. So what do you think, man?
I mean, chase your dreams. Sky's the limit. I mean, he's made it this far in life with people doubting him. What's to stop him?
Did you see any of his win though? Did you see any of the clips?
Funny enough, Josh, all I saw was when the guy had to engage him on the ground, like when the bell rang.
He tried to pull guard and couldn't.
No, not even that. And then when the decision was given, that's the two things I saw.
So MMA Junkie uploaded, I think, 10 minutes of the fight. It went all 3 rounds. So, yeah, man. They missed some of it, but yeah, he's coached by Antonio McKee, funnily enough. So
I did see that.
He's taking the shit seriously. If you're being coached by Antonio McKee, shit, Zion Clark, fucking see the sky's the limit for him as far as I'm concerned. He's got a real coaching staff. Look, dude, I mean, his win wasn't perfect. I saw the fight, and he did okay.
First fight. I mean, he's at a disadvantage. He's still,
he has no legs, so yeah.
Yeah, has to work around that. He can't. I mean, it's hard. I mean, literally, for him to circle the ring, he has to use his arms and push forward to the side. It's
correct. Yeah,
well, but there's certain things he avoids, like not, no leg kicks. I'm not sure how head kicks work for him because he's on the ground, right? No, I'm saying this not as a joke, but legitimately, Josh. I mean, he's technically a grounded opponent, right? So you can't head kick him on the ground.
I think you could kick him to the chest, though. I think you can kick him in the chest, and you can kick him well, I don't know. It was funny because I wrote about this, and I had somebody at me on Twitter. They're like, "Hey, so are they allowed to kick him if he's a down opponent?" I'm like, I have no idea.
But it's actually a good question that's presented. What do you do?
I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know, man. All I could think about when I was watching the fights, he looks like fucking oh my god. Hold on, I can't think of the name.
Oh, what is it from? What is it?
It's gonna be really fucked up when I say it. But he reminds me of fucking Geodude, dude.
Oh my god, dude! But Geodude's fucking shredded, dude.
I know, that's why I'm saying, and I mean that in a compliment, in a complimentary way. He's a IRL Geodude.
Dude, by the way, if you want to rock Geodude as his fucking nickname, dude, I'd fucking pump that, dude.
Yeah.
I don't have it. I like that though. Geodude has fucking big arms, dude.
It's a good comparison, is it not? And he won a fight, so good for him.
He did. I mean, look, like they said, man, if Nick Newell can fight with one arm, why can't this man fight with no legs?
Yo, Nick Newell's fucking legit, too. So, who knows?
I mean, Nick Newell fought fucking Justin Gaethje, dude. I mean, that's fucking as legit as it gets.
He made it longer against Justin Gaethje than Donald Cerrone did, so.
Damn.
There you go. But, yeah, man, congrats, Zion Clark. Well, I'm very excited to see actually where this story goes and where his journey goes.
I want to see how far you can take him, man. I hope he fights again and it's even, more competitive, harder, and we see what he's made of.
Correct. So,
I mean, he's shown it his whole life, so.
Yeah. It'll be fun, though. I'm interested to see where it goes. But, look, man, last bit of news. We knew that Derek Brunson was, his goal was to retire this year. He's walked that back, and all of that. He's saying that he wants 4 fights in 2023, Angel. What is your reaction?
Why not? Run it back.
It's kind of where I'm at. I think he has more to offer. He's 39 years old. He is coming off of a loss, but I still think he has a fair bit to offer the game, man. I mean, he was so close to a title shot. I think at this point, if you win one more, you're right there, man.
Yeah, but he's very highly ranked in the division. I mean, it'd be kind of I don't know. It's not like he's losing a lot. It's not like he's struggling. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. So we'll see, man. But yeah, that's all we got for news for the day. It's definitely a bit of a shorter episode, but still made it over an hour, so I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm at Josh Evanoff on Twitter. He's at Angel Ortega _01 at Courtside Sound for all things related to the show. Angel, any closing thoughts? It is the end of 2022, last episode of the year. Any message to the fans of the show?
Holy shit, man. I can't believe it. You're right. It's actually the last episode of the year because when we come back, it'll be 2023. Holy fuck. Mm-hmm. I mean, obviously, another great year, a lot of growth. Hopefully next year we see even more growth, a lot of change, some amazing fights, some new faces, all of that. And, to another year, man. And it's been very fun and to many more. And, I'm excited to just, hit episode 200, hit the anniversary, and keep it going.
Mm-hmm. Correct, man. And look, man, we're gonna hit 200 episodes soon, and look, we're closing out 2022 on a fucking hot note. So hope you guys enjoyed the show, man, and I hope that you guys stay with us on this journey. We're improving week to week, I feel like, and look, man, very, very excited for 2023. Hope you guys enjoyed. Rogue Energy and ELYXR once again sponsor the show. Courtside Soundoff for 10% off. Hope you guys enjoyed. As always, peace and butt grease. Mouse click.